I got a few emails, I got some WhatsApp messages. Persons were saying that they got strange cravings. One individual told me he's now having a lot of insomnia, and in one case, this one was very hard to believe. Somebody said they were now speaking in tongues. I don't know what that means. Leave your comments in the section below. Hey guys, so good night. So I said I would come back and do an update on the container that was found on a beach in Jamaica, loaded with a frozen chicken. You remember the story, so I'm not going to rehash the whole story except to give an update. And remember, I told you that that container was actually destined for Haiti. So it's part of the infamous container chicken that mysteriously washed up on the shores of Jamaica. Now, the chicken was a cargo container full of frozen poultry, right? So it was bobbing lifelessly through the Caribbean Sea and finally coming to rest on a quiet beach. And of course, the locals, they were baffled, yet they took from the container. The authorities, of course, had said that no one should. But it's far juicier than any rotisserie chicken I've ever tasted, and I'll tell you why. Let's start with the container itself. Officially, it was marked as standard cargo from a shipping company based in South America. But the manifest that we found out on the dark web, the manifest had strange inconsistencies. There had no departure date, at least for that container. No destination was on it, and most suspiciously, no associated bills of lading. This wasn't a shipping mistake. It was actually a message. So that's one of the first thing you are to note with that container specifically. And you get a lot of information on the dark web. It's crazy, and people who do research for us come up with really crazy stuff. So the container, we understand, was part of a clandestine network of food trafficking known as Project Clockstorm. You probably can check that out on the internet. You might not find it because the dark web is crazy. So what you're looking at here is actually a black market scheme run by a cartel of corporate fast food conglomerates in South America with links in the United States of America, especially the southern part like New Orleans and those places. So they said that these mega chains are all competing for global dominance in the fast food industry basically, and they began running what you call labs where they genetically engineered hyper addictive poultry. So it's engineered hyper addictive poultry. That's what it is really. And so the chicken in the container, it wasn't just a meal, it was like a prototype meat, right? And each piece, based on the information from the dark web, was injected with a neural reactive enzyme. It was designed to actually stimulate dopamine, which is that feeling in your head that makes you feel really, really good. Chemicals that are released to make you feel really, really good. And what they do when they release, because of that enzyme that they use to stimulate the dopamine, it releases and creates low level dependence. In other words, that is the first biochemically addictive fast food that they were testing out. I mean, we have fast foods that a lot of chemicals are in today, but I'm talking about biochemically addictive fast food. Now, the container was on its way to a test site, and yes, it was supposed to be Haiti, of course. And what we are understanding is that there's only one way to be rid of the gangs, since they can't get them out no other how. It was meant for them. Basically, I don't know how they was going to distribute them in Haiti, but it was meant for the gangs, and that would have done a good job according to what the dark web is saying. So it was actually for Haiti. Not going back on that, but what went wrong was that a whistleblower embedded in the operation sabotaged the voyage. That's how it ended up on the beach in Jamaica. So the Jamaican authorities, once they realized what had washed up, of course, they instructed the ministry to alert people not to, of course, eat the chicken or either cook it. I got a few emails, I got some WhatsApp messages. Persons were saying that they got strange cravings. One individual told me he's now having a lot of insomnia, and in one case, This one was very hard to believe. Somebody said when I was speaking in tongues. I don't know what that means. Leave your comments in the section below. But what's more disturbing is that you have representatives from an unnamed health research group, all right, who arrived days later, and I understand got samples from certain persons. I don't know if you noticed that, but of course that is the end of the issue with the in terms of the container chicken. Chemically addictive fast food testing that they were going to carry out, but it would have done what they wanted in Haiti. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel.